Ja.
So he's staring at the ball. All right.
Sogar in dieser Situation, ne?
Okay.
Nein.
All right. So this, when a dog is, what is working right there is the eyes of the dog.
Also hier in dem Moment ist es anders.
So if you
da
move
sind
the toy here, the toy, so
die
you
Augen fixiert.
want to help the dog to connect back to nose, eyes, ears. Right now, the brain is controlled by eyes, okay,
Und wir
and
wollen
then
jetzt-
ears, because if the ball bounces, they go into that state. So right now, the brain is controlled by eyes and ears. So the ball means that. So they get very obsessive. An example of a boundary is don't leave the front yard without supervision. An example of a limitation is how long can the dog play with his toys? Without limits, he can develop obsessions.
Und
Dogs need all three. How well you establish and follow them will determine your dog's behavior. Let me show you. Please welcome Ramona and her dog Kora.
Und ich zeige euch das jetzt mal. Also herzlich willkommen jetzt hier Ramona und Kora.
Okay, so tell us about Kora.
Drauf.
So we start to play, but it never stops. She's obsessive with the toys and the ball.
So, okay, so the dog have to learn to practice leaving the ball alone.
Also der
Ja.
Hund muss üben, den Ball in Ruhe zu lassen, oder wie?
Like it's off, that's it. It's a limit.
Also du suchst einen Ausschalter.
Genau.
All right, so how do you normally do it?
Wie macht ihr das normalerweise? Zeig mal. Also du kannst den Ball jetzt zeigen.
Kora.
No, don't throw. Oh, not on
So,
stage.
schwierig.
You can bounce it.
Ach so.
Ja genau, lass ihn mal einfach aufspringen. Wie ist es? Okay.
So how do you stop it? How do you say, okay, Kora, don't ignore the ball?
Wie machst du es normalerweise?
Oh, okay.
Ja.
So he's staring at the ball. All right.
Sogar in dieser Situation, ne?
Okay.
Nein.
All right. So this, when a dog is, what is working right there is the eyes of the dog.
Also hier in dem Moment ist es anders.
So if you
da
move
sind
the toy here, the toy, so
die
you
Augen fixiert.
want to help the dog to connect back to nose, eyes, ears. Right now, the brain is controlled by eyes, okay,
Und wir
and
wollen
then
jetzt-
ears, because if the ball bounces, they go into that state. So right now, the brain is controlled by eyes and ears. So the ball means that. So they get very obsessive.
Also jetzt ist es ein bisschen andersrum, weil die Augen als erstes angesprochen werden und natürlich auch das Gehör, wenn der Ball dann aufspringt. Und wir holen das jetzt ein bisschen wieder zurück zur Nase.
There you go.
Ah, guck mal, Essen. Ja.
Because Jack Russells are such a great hunters, right? There
Also-
you go.
Jack Russell sind gute Jäger.
We're gonna introduce the redirection here.
So, und wir ändern jetzt mal
Right.
das Interesse.
Right.
Und zwar auf den Geruch, auf das Essen, was ich in der Hand habe. Ja, mal kurz aufspringen lassen.
So the movement of the ball, it can't be too high, because then she goes in. Jack Russells will jump. So you want to keep it in a very low level of excitement on the ball. There we go. So she stays focused on this side. There you go.
Also wir lassen jetzt die Aufregung nicht zu groß werden in Bezug auf den Ball.
Much more relaxed. Because when they do the eye thing, they start trembling. When they do the nose, they relax. If the dog uses his eyes, it starts trembling. Yeah.
Ja, weil da ist es so, wenn der Hund, also gerade diese Rasse, die Augen benutzt, dann wird er noch angespannter und ist fixiert auf diesen Ball. Und wir versuchen genau das zu ändern. Oh,
Yeah, there we go. Don't go too far,
Yeah.
Kora. That's all right. We're going to finish the exercise right now. Once she should. There we go. Hold on, because you're going to choke me.
sonst wäre ich hier noch erwürgt.
And stay calm, stay patient, because she's learned. She, right?
Ja.
Yeah.
Ja, also wirklich immer Ruhe, Geduld, gerade bei
Sits.
eben dieser Rasse. Ah,
Yes, well, that's good. You gotta. There you go. Slowly, we're gonna move it slowly. Slowly. Just shorten out the leash. There you go, right there, short. Right there. There you go. That's it, so she doesn't have access to it.
Also so, dass sie einfach keinen Zugang zum Ball hat. Die Leine ein bisschen kürzer, aber ohne
She have to
Spannung.
learn to leave the ball away. And she have to ball it. There you go. Come, follow me. There
So,
you
und
go.
sie muss jetzt lernen, den Ball in Ruhe zu lassen.
Very good. That's
Weg
right.
vom Ball.
Good job. That's it. That's it.
So funktioniert's.
Thanks.
Mit dem Essen.
Thank you, Kora. So the
Yeah.
ball stays there. Thank
Ja.
you.
Danke.
Vielen, vielen Dank an Ramona und Kora.
Let me tell you. So you have to move the dog. If you pull them, they're not moving away on their own. The leash is just to cut the option. Most people, when they take the ball away from the dog, this is what they do.
Viele Leute machen es ja so, wenn sie den Ball haben und der Hund
Right.
ist darauf fixiert, hinterm Rücken
Or
verstecken.
they do this. I don't have it.
Oder das da.
And
hab
the
den
dog
Ball
is like,
nicht.
yeah, it's under your armpit.
Und der Hund checkt es natürlich sofort.
So for this particular, obsession, that's obsession, no limit. You have to leave the ball there, and the dog slowly, gradually have to move away from it, and then eventually he moves away. In the beginning, you use food because you're bringing the nose back into the game. Eventually, the dog knows that when the ball stops, the next activity is to move away from it. Hey guys, on this live video, we're in Linz, Austria, helping Ramona and Kora. Kora is a Jack Russell, and in this part of the world, they love to put a harness on a dog, especially if they pull a lot. So this is how they, in their mind, are alleviating the excitement or like the comfortness, or it's more humane. So that's what comes in their mind, right? So they're trying to fix the situation. I totally understand. But the thing is, harnesses are not for control purposes, and are actually for tracking purposes and pulling purposes, right? I always like to remind people, hey, by the way, the harness were made for the bloodhounds and the huskies, and they both are supposed to be in front with the nose in the ground and the other one just pulling ahead, right? So when you have a dog that is so close to the ground, like a Jack Russell, and the Jack Russell is just being just a regular, normal Jack Russell, people call it fixated with toys. But remember, the breed is a hunter. So if they're not having a job or something delicious, something that they feel like, I emptied the tank and I almost died today, one of those days where you gave everything you have and then you went to sleep so comfortable, well, that's a Jack Russell. That's and a lot of dogs but Jack Russells are known to be an incredible working dogs. And that's why in a lot of shows like Frasier, they use a Jack Russell. It has this incredible ability to gain people, right? It has this mustache on top of, because all of that matter, all of that influence people, we're visual. So when people are watching a Jack Russell or they watch a different breed, the human will go into the Jack Russell and somehow nurture everything that the Jack Russell is doing. So the Jack Russell is getting a lot of applause in the meantime because people love Jack Russells for the most part, and they respect Jack Russells for the most part. And in this case, when a human receives information from hey, put a harness on the dog, even though the dog has this fixation about a toy. Right, and it makes it a little bit more challenging. What I end up doing for Kora is instead of bouncing the ball too high, I bounce the ball, really not too high, right? And so I'm going down to the level because I'm teaching the ears to hear and not tell the brain to follow up with the eyes, right? Because when a dog is fixated, normally the eyes and the ears are working together. They hear something, they see it. They see something, they hear it, right? So it's almost like they get stuck in the ears and the eyes. And so for me, I'm instinctually getting this information from the dog, and this 4 minutes of time in the live show,
where okay, so if I redirect the dog right now, but I'm giving my calmness, and at the same time I'm talking to people, because I'm talking to people as I'm doing a show, but I'm also talking to the dog, right? I'm talking to everybody. So I have to be able to provide the energy, to move my body at a certain time, to bounce the ball at a certain height, and then reward the state of mind. So watch it, because it has this very beautiful alignment that happens in a live show when I'm working with dogs anywhere in the world. It's just, I'm on stage talking to the audience. The guy who's translated what I'm saying is saying something at that time. Ramona, the owner, is watching, and of course I need to make sure that she's learning as well, as much as I am talking to the audience, 10,000 people, and in the meantime also having a depth conversation with the dog, right, with Kora. And so Kora learns, hey, sometimes the human doesn't want you to look at the ball, especially if you're in a street situation, especially if you around kids who might be afraid of dogs, but they're bouncing a ball. So for safety purposes, we need to teach our dogs to not chase or get excited by every sound of the ball or every sight of a ball. So hopefully you understand, all the details that I get to do in this moment. Because if you put me in any dog with nobody around, it's much easier, right? But in this scenario, where you have all these distractions, all this energy that I have to give, because it's a live show, I want you to see, how I work so hard to make sure that no matter where I am, that I can produce or I can provide calm confidence to the dog, and so any dog, and so the dog learn exactly what I want you guys to learn, how important it is: safe, peace, love, trust, respect, love, and rules, boundaries, limitations. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment, and join me on my mission of better humans, better planet.